We're rolling.
Okay. If you can give me just a brief description of the class, what the general course description is for this class, and then specifically this project and how the two girls are involved.
The class itself is participation in government. The focus of it is to give the students some understanding of active citizenship and to, as a culminating project, to simulate for them decision making that a citizen is required to do in a democracy. This particular project, every class is divided up into groups. The group picks out a problem in society that they're interested in. And from there, their responsibility is to present that problem and a solution to that problem to the class. And then they are encouraged to go out into the community and find a resource person who can enhance their presentation, and so that we can get some understanding as to what our community actually is doing with regard to this problem. As far as the two young ladies are concerned, Ellen and Marcy, they were two of a group of 5, and their responsibilities were to organize it and then to go out and get the speaker, and Marcy brought in her expert speaker, her mom.
What was the subject of their...
The subject itself was a question of drug education. The overall problem was a problem of proliferation of drugs in our society. What can be done? Deterrence doesn't seem to work in terms of increased penalties. This was an alternative. The understanding being that the solution would be long-term, but would be overall have greater benefits than simply trying to punish people who are presently using drugs.
I noticed you sat in the back of the class. Is there a reason why you choose to sit in the back rather than behind your desk or at the front somewhere?
I think out of respect for the speaker, so that the speaker becomes the focus, and that students also are not looking at my reaction to what is being said. And I want them to be objective and to understand what the speaker is saying rather than trying to inquire as to what do I think about it, because it's not important what I think about it, it's what they think about it.
Don't want to throw you a curveball here, but what do you think the... I don't want this to get really existential or anything either. What do you think the role of religion in education, in particular maybe in your class or for you personally?
I'm a product of Catholic education. I'm a firm believer in Catholic education. I think it's most important that if we're going to be a Catholic school, that our students are aware of the religious values and beliefs of Catholicism. And I don't teach religion per se, but I constantly, through examples, refer to the church and its teachings. And I think they have to have an awareness of it. What they do with it then is a personal decision. But as a Catholic school, we have an obligation to constantly bring it to the forefront. And I think also in terms of their decision making, the decision making should be, hopefully anyway, made within the context of Christian principles.
Do you feel teaching those principles and having an understanding of those principles also impacts on a student's education?
I think it's part of the education. If you don't deal with the spiritual side, you have an incomplete educational system. You just can't deal with things that are external.
What do you think the unique qualities of Aquinas and the educational experience here are?
I think uniqueness is the autonomy that's afforded both teachers and students. Because we are a private institution, we're allowed to more flexibility in terms of what we teach, how we present it, what students are able to express. And from that perspective, I think Aquinas is unique. I also think Aquinas is unique insofar as there is something. It's an intangible. I don't know what it is. It was here when I was a student, and it's been here since I've been on staff. But I think people recognize that there's a quality. I don't know if anybody can describe what it is.
Okay, right. Okay. Let's see. Well, you've been here teaching a couple of years.
A few.
How do you feel Aquinas has changed, and has the experience, that intangible experience, changed at all?
I don't think overall the experience has changed. Certainly the school has changed as it went from an all-boys school to a co-ed, and the adjustments that have to be made accordingly. But I think basically the ideals of the school and the mechanics of the school, outside of external things that have to be adjusted, have remained basically the same. I think there's a commitment that there's a belief in the product. And since there's a belief in the product, while different circumstances may change, that the product just adapts to those circumstances, but it doesn't change. You know, the product is good, you keep it.
What do you like best about teaching here, and what do you get from the experience, and what do you give to your students?
In terms of what I like about Aquinas, this has always been the affordability that administrations have given me to use my best judgment in terms of making decisions, and also the fact that I feel very comfortable that in what I'm doing there's an appreciation both on the part of the administration and the overall student body. And as far as what I give to my students, it's very difficult for me to judge. What I hope I give my students probably would be that they know that I care, that I am committed to certain values. I don't force them into them, but that they're exposed to a variety of ideas, and hopefully I challenge them that not only are they exposed to those ideas, but ultimately that they are able to make some kind of decisions with regard to them.
Teaching in general, just the profession and your involvement in it, motivations, why you do what you do, and maybe some of the rewards of teaching?
I think as far as teaching itself is concerned, it's an essential. It is something that if you're going to make a contribution to society, that you do it in a variety of ways, and I think teaching is one of those essential ways. I was fortunate to begin in that profession, and once I've been in it, I just constantly are able, get the feeling anyway that I am making a contribution. And as far as what it has given me, I think my greatest rewards are when students come back. The little note that you get that says, yes, you were tough, but I appreciate it because now it's helping me. The fact that, all last week I had students come back that I taught 10 or 12 years ago and say hi. Because obviously without them saying it, then you've touched them in some way.
What do you feel the future of Aquinas is?
I think the future of Aquinas in the community is certainly one that will be growing. It is an institution that recognizes that it has to adapt to a changing community, has made contingent plans to do so, is making every effort anyway to meet the increasing demands of a changing student body. And so I would think that it would be around in the community for a long period of time.
Brian, okay.
Okay.
I don't have